Okay, so I have to say something about something I saw earlier about time, but also I just can't get this, like, this whole thing out of my the pharmaceutical companies buying the credit union. I mean, what I'm sure it is contract. They're bailing them out. You know, the pharmaceutical. I mean, when you think about this system, and you know which different areas, you know, just like California is the biggest producer for the United States. Well, there are certain places that are their biggest producers. And that is, I think, one of their things of why they put Trump in here. Like, they kind of surrounded him without them understanding that they were surrounded. And so Trump, you know, cut him off from the money systems. He like severed the tentacles of the beast all over the place, and, you know, emptied the credit union or the Federal Reserve and stuff, and bankrupted them. And so then they have, and the central banks have been shutting down. Like the Rockefellers and stuff are already, I think their stuff is being sold off already. I've heard about like huge sales. And the central banks in like England and I think in Ireland and stuff, they were already closing down in 2020. Like, this was already going on. That's why I'm always like, how do they keep this going? This is so weird. And so if the central banks were closing down and they do this big sickness, and, you know, everybody better get these, and they funnel their money around into their laundry system, and then they shoot it out, and then, you know, it's like Big Pharma got the big stick, you know. And so then all the money is going to go into them with contracts with governments and stuff like that. And then all that money is just shuffled around. Like the money that we give in to these causes and stuff just shuffles right back to the system. It doesn't go to the causes. It goes into the system. So they're shuffling the money, and so then Big Pharma gets this bundle, and then it's like, well, now you got to use that bundle to free up America and the banking system over there, because like we're the last frontier where they're really trying to get control, because they've taken control of all these third world countries all over the place, or turned countries into third world countries, taken productive agriculture, destroyed it, taken, you know, places that were thriving and then turned them into ghettos, and, you know, destroyed the economy. So they done it all on purpose, and we're watching them trying to do it on, like, it's like they turn the speed up or something on some things. Like they're going to go so fast into running us into the wall, but how slow that everything comes out, like the truth, you know, but they are like, their race cars speeding faster than shit. So, you know, that's the weird thing too. Because my whole thing too, the TikTok that I saw that, you know, I'd shared this one, and I shared a couple of them about the same thing, but it's really trippy is, all these different countries that are on different years. There's one that's even 2078. There's one that's like 2010. Like there's countries that are all different years. And I always thought it was weird when I would be talking to my friend in Australia and she's on the next day. That always would trip me out. Like, it's so weird. Like if I'm talking about, oh, this will happen on this day, but it's already that day there and it hasn't happened there. So is it going to happen? You know, like it's weird. And so then though, when you think about this thing with the years, and how it's all these different realities. See, there's not a set time. There's not a set schedule. There's not a set anything. It's just realities and what you're focused on. Okay, dramatic lady. Oh my gosh, she just got so dramatic. I know her legs are hurting though, but because we just got a big dump of poisons. So anyways, with all these different years, so think about like if you were to say, oh, this happened in 2012. Well, whose 2012 did it happen? Like if we're all on different ones, then how is there any accurate like counting of time in history? So see right there how I say, like, there's like a disconnected, but it's connected, but not like how we think. Like, there isn't like, you know, how they came up with AD, BC and all this stuff. I don't think it's like that. I think it is ages. And in the ages, we come in as souls, like soul groups come in to experience that age. And, you know, it's kind of like we're all up there writing our own script over, you know, what we want to come down and learn in that age. And we find our group that we want to come down and learn it. And, you know, we come down into these ages with our groups to learn stuff. And, you know, at different ages or different realities, just like how Nostradamus was really being alive now, currently, it's the same thing. It's like in these different ages, they're all happening simultaneously. It's not like something is happened before us. It's currently happening alongside of us. So it's not like something happened 100 million years ago or something. It is, these things are happening all the time. And wherever you catch it in, like if a reality, or not a reality, if a period of time, an age or whatever, is like that roller coaster where we go through all of these different feelings and emotions and things as a collective so that we can learn. And so wherever you were to, you know, catch into that, like that's like the portal to go into different times, but it's all happening at the same time. So all of these realities are happening at once, and it's like that's why you can jump around and go to different realities, because they're all happening at once. And because you are projecting it. So if you are projecting yourself into it, you're going to be into it at a current time. It won't be like the same time period, because each time period has a significance to the soul. So if you went into like the Nostradamus thing that I was talking about earlier, so if you went into his reality, it wouldn't be like it's 2010 there or 2022 or whatever. It would still be the time that he was there. You are just taking your consciousness and going into that reality. But all of those realities are always happening. I saw another girl, she was talking about, oh my God. I saw this other girl. Hold on. I'll go bark at somebody. Stella, will you stop? Come on. Go. Go outside and bark. I think all that was for a squirrel or a cat or something. She really has her eye on these cats and the squirrels. But so if they're happening at the same time, then there is nothing that happened before you. It is the same kind of thing as like right now in our lives, we keep going and living, but somebody in our past can be stuck in the past. So they think of you as being in the past, but really it's them stuck in the past. So even in the same time, you can be at different times, if that makes sense. So if you were in this reality, because I had seen some different people talking about, more people. Like earlier when I said it, I've seen more now. More people talking about these jumps in their timeline and realities and stuff. So a lot of people are having really weird experiences. Especially, it seems like a lot of people who don't really understand spirituality yet, and they're having these really impactful kind of things happen that are kind of tripping them out, like where they're like, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening here. So, yeah, but everybody's going to wake up in their own way. So, you know, some people, that was what's going to wake them up, and they're going to have these supernatural kind of experiences, I guess. But so if they have different time here on the planet, for one thing, if it's all different times, see, we're all in different realities. We think that we're all sharing this earth, but we're really just sharing a place that is a projection of realities. So it's not really like we're all on the same planet and spinning out in space and stuff. It's not like that. It is like, like a Metroplex cinema theater. And you go there and you can see 25 movies, but it's all in the same theater. So it's kind of like that, what this place is more like. But all of these ones are in different time periods currently with us. So then how in the hell could we ever say, oh, this happened at this certain time or that certain time? Because who's certain time? That's why I guess you have to, like, even when you do that astrology thing, like you try and do your table or your chart, you have to put in your, like it needs your coordinates, your time of birth and stuff like that. And now, like, it makes a lot more sense, like why you have to put in the coordinates and stuff, because it's not even the same freaking year everywhere. Every year, every place is like a multiplex cinema theater. Everybody's just got different movies happening in different places. And I think that's part of what, the news tried to do, was create kind of extra scenarios or get us to look at certain scenarios or create drama in certain places so that they could distract us and stuff and pull us into these other realities when, we didn't really need to have that focus. It was kind of creates fear for people. So I think that's why they do it, is to create fear, because then you start thinking, you could feel super bad for people, or you start thinking, oh, that could happen to me. And you start, thinking about it. But, whatever's going to happen for you in your life, it's already destined. It's already written. You don't have to worry about what happened to these people because you are on your own path. So it isn't like that can be changed. Like fate and destiny is always going to be the way it's going to be. You can't change it. Well, I mean, they're doing something with jumping these timelines or something, whatever they're doing to try and mess with time right now. So, but it's very weird is how much different time. I mean, it's not even just like, a couple days apart or a couple years, 2078 somewhere. I shared the TikTok. You can go in and see it. But it's just like, what the hell? It just blows my mind. Kind of like, the freaking big pharma buying the credit unions. It's like, are they going to be telling us, oh, you need to get some cash out? Did you take your pills? I mean, it's the same people who provide us with all the poisons. And then they make poisons to kill the natural stuff and just give us more and more chemicals to poison us. And then they're going to have over our money too. Like, what all do we have to do to be able to get to our money? I mean, when they start saying, and if they're bailing out the banks, and, and that includes the government, because a government isn't separate from the bank. That's what another thing that Trump showed, that America had become a corporation, and he took all of that stuff away and bankrupted it, and then went back to the republic. So yeah, because now we are the Republic of America, and no longer the United States of America. Now it's the Republic of America or something like that. So it's completely, and it's going to be about human rights. And I think also, I was thinking about that, that they're making a thing about this judge is against human rights. Like, it's so wackadoo. If she is against human rights, that just goes right along with the things that they had to sign away their classification as a human being. So they are no longer considered human beings. So it's just another way of stripping away the rights of a living being. Like they do it with their labels and stuff. That's why we have to say no to the labels. We have to stop with their spells. They use these words as spells to trick people into aging themselves, trick people into killing themselves through their own free will, not just by going in and getting a gun. It's like they trick people's minds into doing it for them. You just gotta start understanding more about consciousness and about souls and stuff. And when you start seeing about that, you start really understanding what they're doing on a deeper level. It's not just these games that they play and their weird shit that they do to people. I mean, part of it is their vampire ways to try and stay alive. They got to live off of certain kinds of things, and they need to get certain little parts off of other little things, really small little things. So, and then they have the double whammy of like the parts they want. They also want to, kill off those people. And then they also want to sterilize these people. They just want to have, you imagine probably in their freaking labs, they probably have like some crates against a wall that has their specimens. They could even just have like, these people are so damn creepy. Like they probably just have a box with some ovaries alive and fluid. You know how they've showed us in scary movies and stuff, how they'll just have fluid and they have a heart just in there pumping like a Frankenstein kind of thing. They probably got that kind of stuff. They don't need us to keep making their parts that they need and their stuff. They figure out how to get it. They have baby factories and stuff, and they would just keep doing that. The whole thing is just taking away more of our rights and our abilities to procreate because, that takes control away from them and they want control of the whole fucking thing. But I just thought that it was really, really funny. And that is something you would think that the news would be outraged about, if they were really for the people, that they would be outraged that the pharmaceutical companies are buying the banks. Like, that should be sounding alarms for people. Yeah, didn't the pharmaceutical companies just get it to where, we have to have passports, we have to have things that show, we've been licensed. I mean, I saw a TikTok. This one was creepy as shit too. There was a woman at a restaurant, and I guess there's some challenge. I don't know about this challenge, but everybody who got one of these, they have a thing inside of them. They have a code, like a Bluetooth code inside of them now. So if you go to a restaurant and you turn on your Bluetooth, everything will come up. And this couple was doing it in a restaurant and they were showing and they were freaking out. They were like, oh my God, all these people are, and they're showing up on their phone. Like they are, just like what they said, what do they call them? Like you're a bio experiment now. And it was showing that their number and stuff. I was like, oh my God. And you think about the ramifications if they turn on the 5G stuff. Oh my gosh. Like what the hell are they what is the plan? Like, there's so many things that could happen at this point. It's like, it reminds me so much of that movie, Cabin in the Woods, when they're like, oh, should we bring out the zombies from hell, the mermac, they had every way that you could be killed, and they would decide like how they were gonna kill the people with these different things. That's what it's like. They got their weather machines, they've got all their plans to take out humanity, and it's just like everything, let's just throw everything at them. There's no telling what's coming next and how many people it really will, are they going to get a strike? Are they going to gutter the ball? Who knows? I mean, it isn't about, this Like, it's really easy to get caught up if you know some of the stuff and think, well, the Alliance should be stepping in. The Alliance should be doing something. They can't allow this to happen. But see, it's not about any of that stuff. It's about the awakening. And it is, this stuff is happening to awaken people, because this isn't a normal age. This isn't a normal time period. This is the end of an age and beginning of a new age. So it is a transition. It's a bridge between two worlds. And that is why we have to elevate. We're like going into a whole new world. And it is, that's why everything is happening. I mean, it's real easy to get caught up into the drama and, you know, this way and this should be going on. And, you know, how does somebody just call themselves president and never even go in the house? Like, this stuff is so absurd. But it has to be absurd to keep waking people up. And, you know, we can see no matter how absurd it gets, they just don't wake up. But, you know, the whole slow drip thing and getting people little by little to wake up more and more and more, because something impactful is coming. Something's coming. I feel so sure of it. I really don't think that it's going to be like the people who are not awake right now are just making this free will choice to stay in hell. The people I know who aren't awake are all really good, kind people, loving people. They aren't assholes. They're just misdirected. They're just cut off from their souls. So I just have a hard time with the, I still have this. It's probably, who knows what the hell poisons they put out here for us. But I just have a hard time thinking of it like the rapture, and all of a sudden, you know, all of us who raised our vibration, we're just going to go. And the other people are going to have to stay and continue in this hellacious world. Because plus these other people are supposed to be ending, even though there was somebody who was talking about looking glass stuff. And this was something else I saw. It was a show, like somebody interviewing this person with someone with the looking glass. And they were saying that when it was like an Alliance person, when they were saying that when they could look forward, because when they were having access, somehow they've lost access. And the Alliance got the looking glass. And that's why I said that one TikTok, that kind of lined up with it. It was like the Alliance, we're releasing this stuff because if we don't get you guys to wake up, we're headed in a bad direction. You know, we have to wake up. You know, this timeline split kind of situation where, you know, we're going to go this way, we're going to go that way. Which, you know, I just know I'm going the age of Aquarius. I don't know what the fuck's going on with everything else. I'm going the age of Aquarius. I know where I'm going. And, I mean, I just know. You know, I don't know where everybody else is going. I don't know how it's all going down. I know where I'm going. And if the people that who were running the show, it was something about when they did have looking glass. This was, I had heard that guy, I think his name's Glenn or something. He is like a whistleblower that is, he was somebody, I think if certain social media even hears his voice, he has a distinct voice. I think if they even hear his voice, your video's taken down. Like, I used to hear his stuff a long time ago, and I thought, man, this guy's extreme. He was talking about the underground tunnels, and he's said a lot of stuff, and since I don't follow him really accurately, but I had seen him on David Rodriguez's thing, and so I was kind of familiar with him, and I swear I think his name's Glenn, and I'm sure he was the one who was talking about this, and I think this was one of the things that got me taken off TikTok on my other account. But he was talking about that they had, and I was holding up, I remember when it happened, because I thought, what the fuck? And I was just holding up signs to say words then when I was talking about it. So I think it was like 8 months ago or something. But he was saying that the bad guys had the looking glass, and they could see that they didn't ever go past 2044. That there's nothing about them beyond that time. And I know it was like 2044, 2040. It was sometime around there. Which, you know, that's not that long. Really, that's not that long. And if it is that they cease to exist, see, that's why he was saying, it was on his thing. He was saying that they are, the Alliance then got Looking Glass, so they didn't have it. They have some other kind of technology they're using, and they're going back. They're doing something to go back and switch stuff, because they think somehow if they switch stuff that they can prolong their, like they could change something. But they can't change anything to continue, because it's an energetic thing. It's a cosmic thing. It's the release of this toxic energy. And, you know, if you're associated with it, and they're a big part of it, I mean, it's what they are and who they are. And if you're associated with it, it's like it's purging that out, because if the whole system's elevating. So there is no way that you can go with it. Like, you can't hold on. It was like you would disintegrate or something, because the vibration, you couldn't carry that vibration. You have to do the healing. You have to do the work. It's like taking steps to go up to a higher elevation so that you can sustain that elevation. And it is a process to do the work, to take the steps to get there. And if you just think about like how nature will represent that, like if you're in the water and you go up too fast and you get the bends, like you can't, there's certain things you can't do. So you can't be low vibration and go into a high vibration. It's just not possible. You have to do the work. You have to climb the stairs. You have to systematically move yourself up and get comfortable as you go until you reach the vibration of your environment. And if you're low vibration and you're hanging on to it, like these people, they want to keep trying to make the world fit so they can continue instead of adjusting themselves and healing themselves and growing. You know, they want to keep it toxic. Well, it's not going to stay like that. So yeah, it won't work. And you know, so even if it were that something was going to happen, whatever it is, like the rapture, if you want to call it that, and the high vibration people were to split off from the low vibration people, and then they had to stay and learn more from this horribleness, and then I mean, by 2040 or something, it would be over. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things that, you know, it is like I've talked about before. To me, I look for how things layer, you know, how they cross. And so there's still things up in the air, you know, we just don't know every single thing. You know, we can project, we can try and understand it on our level, but there's a lot of things that are above our understanding, that we have to do the work and grow and expand our consciousness, expand our thinking so that we can understand. Because we certainly, you know, you can't sit there, you know, like I've said before, you can, you know, take a 12th grader and go in and start telling a first grader. They wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about. They have to go through the classes to learn. And I don't like to use the education system, because the education system is fucked up. But you get the concept is what I'm saying. You can't teach somebody what they're not ready to understand. They have to go through the steps to get to that point of understanding, to understand each and every next thing, you know. And if you start paying attention in your life, you'll notice that situations and scenarios will be in alignment with what you are learning. Like everything is happening for you. Just people get so caught up that they're not recognizing it. But the things are aligning for you to help you heal and purge out your pain, and, you know, take the steps to raise your consciousness and raise your vibration to elevate yourself into this higher state of being. So, you know, I mean, everything is there for people to do. You know, that's what this, you can look up about the ascension. You can look up about the harvest. You can look up about, you know, there's a lot of stuff to look up. I think the Sumerian tablets tells a lot. The Book of One tells a lot. The Lord's Canon stuff tells a lot. There's just a lot of information out there that you can go and read, and it has nothing to do, these people have nothing to do with each other, but they all have like the same information. That's where you find how things cross over. Where do you get like the same information that repetitively comes into your orbit of understanding? So, you increase your awareness of your situation, your circumstance, because that is what's there to help you navigate the stairs as you climb, to your higher self, as you climb up to meet yourself. And, but it's all happening. You can see it happening. You can see people waking up. And I feel certain that, the age of Aquarius is going to be for the majority of people, I think. But I'm very Pollyannish, I want everybody to get that opportunity to experience it. But even if they don't do this transition that we're doing right now, it's a reality that they will come to. And it's also going to change, like there's not going to be death like there is now. So, even if there's people who leave us now, they can come right back to the new age. So, I don't know. I've talked about that stuff a lot of times too. So anyways, it's just another thing to think about, like how they mess with time and our history and our information when, everyone on the planet's not even living in the same damn year. And there is so much more to this reality and time and space, and why, each generation has supposed to connect with the other generations. That makes the growth as the collective. It's all about the unity and the growth and what we do together. And that's how we become creators, to create our own world to exist in. And it's going to be kind of a forced thing, because this other one's going to be ending. It's just so weird. I can't even believe anybody could think like that it's okay for the pharmaceutical companies to just, we want to change you into this new world order. So, we have to take over the banking systems. We have to take over your life. We have to get you to follow the rules. And it just is so ridiculous because it's so in your face. But, there's really a lot of people that are just cut off from it and don't see a problem. Just like, what's the big deal? I really thought when that woman was on the phone, was she for real? Is she serious? Like, you really don't think there's a problem with this? This is totally ethical to you. This is completely okay. So, I think I'm gonna just quit that account. It's weird too, because it was a credit union. I'm sure the other bank that I have is probably owned by somebody. They all are owned, but that's just really in your face. Like, when they're going to make the app, is the Pfizer and the West Edge Credit Union, they've got an app where there's both logos now. Oh my God. I'm not banking with the pharmaceutical company. Sorry. That's not happening. So I don't know. We'll see how long they can carry this on and keep it going. I was hoping a lot more drama this week, so it's kind of a dud. But I know that there's a lot of stuff going on in a lot of places, and they're not telling us. I keep seeing stuff about mass shootings and tornadoes and all sorts of horrible stuff is happening. And people are having all sorts of traumas and tragedies and stuff. So, things are really moving fast and everything is happening. And, but we just got to stay prepared, because whatever the main event, that's going to happen. Oh, and there was somebody too, I'll just say this real quick before I go. There was some other girl I saw, and she was talking about some woman who she follows, it's in a group, and she's some sort of prophet or something, and she keeps telling this or that's going to happen, and then it keeps happening. She said, you know, she had said that that fox, that something was going to happen about that fox, which isn't that funny. Like, it knew exactly who to bite. Oh, my battery's about to go dead. It knew exactly who to bite. So then, anyway, she said that the big event that's about to happen is something in Oregon, and it's going to be cut off from the rest of the country, and that's going to start America on the whole thing of our freedom. So I don't know. There's all sorts of people saying this or that, you know. Don't get too caught up in the predictions. You know, we just got to kind of just let things unfold how they're going to unfold, and just remember that we are eternal. Don't get caught up in the fear. They can't really hurt us. They can just make us feel like we're going to be hurt. But, you know, stay connected to your true self, and then it won't seem so scary. So, okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.